We are missionaries full-time now. We live in the States, but we travel, we're traveling until COVID hit, doing training overseas. So I work with TMAI, which is the Masters Academy International. And the focus of that ministry is to establish training centers around the world to help equip pastors who don't have access to solid biblical training. And so I've been doing this for 5 years now. We recently transitioned to full-time, right when, of course, 2020 hit. In fact, I just got back from a trip like a few days or a week before everything locked down. The focus of what I do as far as connected to the local church, actually, I've been surprised. I do almost more with the local churches than with the guys, because the focus of the ministry is to serve and train pastors, but do it in the context of the local church. And so we have men that we are connected to that serve within or pastoring in a church, and then they open up their church to allow for us to do training of other pastors in the area. And so with that, it establishes really the strength of the local church. Then the local church is able to serve. A lot of people get involved in doing meals and stuff as I do training, or obviously the facilities. And what that's really done is allowed for us to not only be involved in that particular church that we're with, but then I'm also serving in churches of the other students. So I'm often preaching quite a number of times when I travel. So I'm not only doing training, but during the weekends, I'll be preaching 3 or 4 times during the week. I'll be involved in preaching at their churches, doing conferences and things like that. In fact, this coming Sunday, even with COVID, I'll be preaching at a church in Malaysia that I'm doing training with as well. And so COVID really hasn't stopped the training. It's limited our ability to work with the local churches, but still I've been preaching. We did a couple conferences in Pakistan, one in Indonesia. And so actually we're getting ready, Tina and I, to do a marriage conference for a church in the Philippines.
Along with that, we've been keeping in touch with our partners in the Philippines. Yeah. Tim and I will have Zoom dates with pastor and his wife, who we've had relationship with over the last several years. And then I'm still involved with a small group with pastors' wives and missionary wives through TMAI, have those set up as well. But we've been keeping in touch with our people, basically, who we built these relationships with even during COVID. It's been great to be able to see them face to face in a sense, even though it's through technology.
Yeah, so it's been unique. Obviously, I've been in seminary, and so that's different than, these aren't really like a seminary type of context. It's really a local church context in which training happens, because with a seminary, you kind of go, you're there a few years, and then you're gone. Maybe you interact with a professor or two. But with this, there's an intimacy that comes about from being a part of the church. And so it's been great in that regard. So even with COVID, we've still been able to do, I'm still training 4 times a week and adding another potential group in March in South Asia and a Muslim country there. But that even is through a local church. I'm working with a pastor there who knows other pastors, and the church there is going to help facilitate that. And so if you take out the local church and what we do, then what we do doesn't happen anymore, really, in that sense. So I really am thankful for the ministry we're involved in, primarily Philippines, but also in Africa. We go there as well.